Hey Starlings! In today's video, I will be talking about ADHD and hobbies. Let's get started! If you don't already know, ADHD affects how the brain handles dopamine. Dopamine is the brain chemical that is responsible for motivation, reward, and attention. Research has shown that people with ADHD have more dopamine transporters, which negatively alters how dopamine functions. An excessive amount of transporters can lead to diminishing returns, using up the chemical too quickly. There can be other causes to dopamine malfunctions, such as defective genes and enzymes. Beyond those, ADHD is also affected by other brain chemical disruptions, but they aren't the main focus for today. When most neurotypical people accomplish a task, their brain releases dopamine, which makes them feel good. It makes it easier to continue completing tasks because they're always getting a reward at the end. In my personal experience with ADHD, completing a task rarely gives any significant amount of dopamine. I have to plan my own reward and recharge from the experience. This makes even the smallest tasks feel like a slog. I have to constantly fight an upwards battle and tell myself to get things done or nothing will ever happen. Please keep in mind that this does not imply that people with ADHD are naturally lazy. What appears to be laziness is actually executive dysfunction. Remember how I said that doing small tasks is a battle of its own? Imagine that feeling, but for every single thing you do in your life. ADHD brains can struggle with starting tasks, managing time, and remaining focused. When you are lazy, you know you can do something, but simply refuse to do it. For people with ADHD, they want to do it, but they can't. The low motivation and lack of stimulation feels like a painful, invisible barrier. The worst part of ADHD, for me, is dealing with boredom. Over the years, I have trained myself to get better at starting, maintaining, and completing tasks, which was a lot of work and quite a long journey. So I don't really have as many issues with executive dysfunction anymore, but it used to be a lot worse. For neurotypical people, boredom is usually an uncomfortable and impatient feeling, like an itch you can't scratch. When I start to get bored, my brain and body physically hurts, and I get hit with a powerful wave of drowsiness. The type of tired you start to feel as if you've been staying up for 3 days straight. It doesn't matter if I've had plenty of sleep the night before, or if I was feeling great and full of energy throughout the day. The moment I get really bored, I am painfully exhausted. I either need to sleep immediately or I need to stop working on my current task. I've had my vision blur or fade in and out due to boredom alone. It is an excruciating experience and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. The ADHD brain responds this way because dopamine is regulated poorly. It is essentially starving, so it triggers emotional and physical distress in a desperate search for a fix or an escape. But what does this have to do with hobbies? I was just about to get to that point, Starling. If we know that ADHD affects dopamine reception and focus, then we can easily assume it'll affect how hobbies are handled. For myself and a lot of other neurodivergent folks I've spoken to, we have a lot of hobbies. Some of us, like myself, are sort of a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none type. More on that quote later. Neurodivergent people can have a lot of hobbies, which helps with variety and boredom. For example, I can be obsessed with digital drawing for a month or so, but then I start to feel bored as time goes on. So for the next month, I'll focus on 3D modeling instead. Then that same feeling creeps back up, and I find myself working on my video game mods for a while. Notice the pattern? I have a lot of hobbies lined up and ready to be rotated in and out, so I constantly have something fresh and interesting to keep me going. Neurodivergency isn't all the same response, though. While many people with ADHD have rotating hobbies to keep their attention, some may only have one, or even none at all, as starting something new can bring chronic stress. People can also suffer from burnout due to their executive dysfunction, and that makes it so that hobbies start to feel more like chores instead of fun activities or interests. To further add to this, ADHD also makes choice paralysis a serious problem. Too many options causes stagnation, so in the end, nothing is chosen. Like I've said before, I am someone with a lot of hobbies. Oftentimes, this leads to feeling inadequate because all of my skills combined seem to be just average. I am truly not a master at a single hobby of mine because my time and attention is fractured between a bunch of different interests. For those of you in a similar situation, I would like to provide the full context of the quote from earlier. A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. Your diverse skill set is uniquely beautiful and brings so much nuance to everything around you. Besides, as you get older, you may find you'll become a master at one or two of your hobbies, but still remain decently proficient at the rest. That's something awesome to strive for, so don't give up. If you have only one hobby, please don't feel as if you need to have multiple hobbies to bring value to the world or live life to the fullest. ADHD is a different experience for everyone, so you shouldn't feel forced to be trying a billion things at once just because that works for other people. Take solace in the hobby that you enjoy, building knowledge and wisdom to share with others and uplift the community around you. I have serious respect for people who stick with one or two hobbies, driven with such passion. In times where I am stuck trying to delve into one of my many hobbies, awesome people like you are there to guide me along the path. Keep being you. And for those of you that struggle to have any hobbies at all, it is admittedly harder for me to understand how that feels, but I empathize with your situation and the emotional distress of it all. You've probably already tried so many different things, and nothing sticks. You are not flawed or uninteresting. I would suggest defining your hobby as, well, testing hobbies. Trying new things and gaining new experiences, even if you don't stick with them in the long run. Looking into team sports could help you. There are lots of different things to try, and the connections you could make will help motivate you to keep showing up for your buddies. Letting yourself be free like a butterfly to be here or there as you please, instead of trying to force yourself into rigidity, may be the right path for a life full of joy. I hope this video helped anyone else out there with ADHD that may be struggling with boredom and hobbies. We're here to support each other. If you have any advice regarding anything in this video, please head to the comments section and share it with everyone. I would be grateful to hear the experiences and wisdom others can bring to this topic. By the way, the video playing in the background is me slowly getting back into 3D modeling. I have tried 3D modeling throughout the years, but I have always hit a roadblock in one way or another. This time I am going for a very simple character design with a low-poly aesthetic so I can actually finish a model and continue to build skills. I do want to get into 3D animation eventually after all. I'll see you in the next video then, Starling. Bye bye for now!